My name's Walter Bell, and I have been on a campaign to eliminate hospital-acquired infections for 3 years now. In my previous video, I explained that, number one, there is a system called Asepticsure that was invented 10 years ago by two very well-known epidemiologist doctors, Dr. Michael Shannon and Dr. Dick Zoutman, that's the only system in the world that actually kills all of the bugs to 99.9999%, and that treatment lasts for a year. The arithmetic as to how we find the initial group of hospital management people that will actually get together and lease the system is something that naturally people have a lot of problem understanding. But let me try to explain it as simply as I possibly can. Let's say that these owners, this group, have invested in leasing this. It's a machine. It's like a big humidifier. You put it in an empty patient room for an hour and a half, and it is going to spew out, if you like, a mist of ozone and hydrogen peroxide, and at the end of the hour and a half they pull the machine out and that room is completely empty of all the terrible swarming bugs, pathogens they call them, and that room will stay sterilized for a year as long as some dummy doesn't take some new fresh C. difficile or MRSA bugs in there. So, all right, here's the arithmetic. I'm going to get on the phone for 1 hour a day because it's great for my self-esteem. I like to know that I'm doing something interesting and important, and I am calling management team members of hospitals. I'll start with the ones in the Toronto area, then expand out, and of course there's lots of hospitals across the Niagara River as well. So in 1 hour, and I've been doing this now for 65 years, so I'm hoping that you will take my word that my numbers are based on experience and not on a wild guess. In 1 hour, I will dial the phone about 40 times. Out of the 40 times, I will actually get to speak to, on the average, 2 hospital executives. Out of that means that I talk to 2 per day for 20 days, which is 40 per month. And let's say that I dial the phone for 4 months, which is 160 reads, if you like, of the 15-second script. And of the 160 reads, approximately 5% or 8 hospital executives will agree to get together and discuss the possibility of being on the front lines of helping to eliminate hospital-acquired infections in their hospitals. There's probably 1 million people or 2 die every year around the world, but let's just stick with what we're talking about. So these hospital executives, they form a group. They lease the machine for $5,000 a month over a 60-month period, and then I get on the phone And I keep calling hospital executives, but this time I'm talking to them about a different thing entirely. It's still a 15-second script. There's no personality involved, by the way. They know that I'm not a 20-year-old telemarketer, and I've already told them up front that I'm only going to take 15 seconds of their time, so I get a pretty good reception. And of the 40 that I talk to, management executives that I talk to every month, at least one is going to say to me, okay, we do have a major problem with infections in our hospital, and it's getting really embarrassing, and people are starting to ask questions. So if you're saying that you can sterilize 10 of my patient rooms for $300 each, that will last for a year, and I know that I will be able to charge an extra $10 a day, which is 365 days a year. That's plenty enough to make sure that it's not going to cost my hospital any money to get those 10 rooms sterilized. So yeah, by all means, you want 50% up front. You want $1,700 roughly. Fine. That gets me on the schedule to have the work done. What I'm saying, the bottom line is that the hospital executives that initially agree to take the risk to lease the machine at $5,000 a month, they know up front and they're satisfied that the $5,000 a month will come out of just one customer who pays $3,000 for 10 sterilized rooms. And I think I'd better stop as far as arithmetic goes. I think I'm going to have to ask you please to give some thought to what I've said. It's all in writing, by the way. You'll have it in writing so that you can look at the numbers and make sure that you're comfortable with them. And if anybody wants to call me, my name is Walter Bell, 416-236-9477 or 416-986-6258. Our website is www.HospitalAcquiredInfectionCanada.com. And my email address is HospitalAcquiredInfectionCanada.com. Thank you for hearing me out.